What's going on YouTube? It's your boy RonnyPugs back again with another Far From Home related video for you guys. And before we begin, I did get a chance to see Avengers Endgame Friday morning, and if you guys want to know my thoughts on the film, make sure you guys tune into my spoiler review that I will be dropping later this week. But today's video has to do with the film taking place moments after Avengers Endgame for some odd reason, the final film of Phase 3, Spider-Man Far From Home. And today we'll be focusing on probably the most controversial character of the Spider-Man supporting cast, Michelle, whose backstory and details we don't know much about, but a recent theory suggests that she could actually turn out to be the daughter of Nick Fury. Now this theory comes from a Reddit user by the name of Find My Wallet, which was recently picked up by comicbook.com, so not only did I want to share this theory in depth, but also share my personal thoughts and see what you guys have to say. So the main point of this theory is that Michelle Jones is actually Nick Fury's daughter, who's taken on the alias of Michelle or MJ because Nick Fury wanted to keep himself and his family off the radar after the events of the Winter Soldier. Similar traits Michelle has to Fury include her shamelessness and getting in other people's business, some of her outfits being similar to what Fury wears in the sense that she wears a lot of black, but that could just go with the type of personality that she has. The way she profiles people, basically using her free time to go to detention and draw others, basically keeping her own sort of file on others. And two elements from Homecoming that could foreshadow her connection to Nick Fury, such as her hair covering one of her eyes, and the fact that she becomes the leader of the academic team at the end of the film, sort of like how Nick Fury is the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D. Adding to that scene, she also mentions how she doesn't have any friends, but her friends call her MJ, which could hint at her not being who she truly is, or accidentally bringing up her actual identity to her classmates. Not too long after that scene, we get the credits montage before the mid-credit scene of Spider-Man Homecoming, and what's really interesting is that if you guys pause on Michelle's frame for a specific second, you can actually see Nick Fury's eye patch drawn on her, which could just be making fun of the fact that she covers her eye with her hair, but it could mean something more thanks to this theory. The user also mentions how Michelle wanted to sit out during the Washington Monument scene, which they believe the real reason for her wanting to do so is because of her view on the current government, since her dad would basically be on the run. Also, there's a couple of extra points the user included within the theory, but I feel like the ones discussed in this video justify the theory enough. Now this theory makes sense. It's definitely an odd one, but piecing together the points presented with this theory, it is possible the MCU does another plot twist similar to Liz Allen in Homecoming, with Michelle being the daughter of Nick Fury. However, there are reasons to why this theory might not work, which the user does point out at the end of their post. For one, although Far From Home could pull a similar twist to Homecoming, I don't think it would have the same effect that the Homecoming twist did since we've already seen it. Plus, the twist in Homecoming wasn't just for shock value, but it also showed that Peter had to give up spending the night with his friends because he had to go do what's right. And if this happened, I feel like it wouldn't be as impactful as the Liz Allen twist in Homecoming. Also, the user mentions that Nick Fury wanted to keep his family a secret after the events of the Winter Soldier, but if that was the case, I don't think Fury would keep his family in New York. I'd imagine he moves them across the country instead of keeping them in the hotbed of superhero activity in America. We also know that Michelle is supposed to appear during the carnival scene in Spider-Man Far From Home, which I'm more than willing to bet that that is the final fight of the film. So if Fury's whole plan was to keep his family out of danger, he would have done so after he heard about the news in DC with Spider-Man's classmates almost being killed on the field trip. But it's not too bad of a theory. Personally, I think I'd be okay with this happening, especially since this version of MJ isn't like the comics in terms of personality. I am curious to know what you guys think of the theory down below, and as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, follow my social medias, and I will see you guys again in my next video.